The Songhai Empire stands as a testament to the ingenuity and resilience of African civilizations, its legacy echoing through the corridors of time. As the largest empire in West Africa's history, it bridged trade routes and cultures from the Sahara to the savannas. Let us embark on a journey to unravel the secrets of this majestic empire, where the whispers of the past await our discovery. In the scorching vastness of the Sahara Desert, where the sun dips into the dunes like a fiery blade, the Niger River flows like a lifeblood, nourishing the fertile plains that would eventually give rise to the mighty Songhai Empire. It was here, in the late 13th century, that the foundations of this magnificent civilization were laid, amidst the remnants of the Mali Empire's waning power. The city of Gao, situated on the eastern banks of the Niger, emerged as a crucial hub of trade and commerce, its merchants and artisans weaving a complex tapestry of cultural exchange with neighboring kingdoms. As the Mali Empire's influence began to recede, a new force arose in the region, the Songhai people. Originally a subject state of the Mali Empire, the Songhai had developed a distinct identity, shaped by their unique blend of pastoral and agricultural traditions. Their early history is shrouded in mystery, but it is known that they were skilled fishermen and farmers, harnessing the riches of the Niger River to build a thriving economy. The Songhai capital, Gao, became a magnet for merchants from across the Sahara, drawn by the city's strategic location at the crossroads of trade routes connecting West Africa to the Mediterranean. One of the key figures in the early history of the Songhai Empire was Sunni Ali Bey, a cunning and ambitious leader who would play a pivotal role in shaping the empire's destiny. Born around 1464, Sunni Ali was a member of the Songhai royal family, but his rise to power was far from certain. Through a combination of military prowess, strategic alliances, and clever diplomacy, he managed to consolidate his position as the ruler of Gao, paving the way for the Songhai Empire's expansion into the surrounding regions. Under Sunni Ali's leadership, the Songhai began to assert their dominance over neighboring kingdoms, leveraging their control of the Niger River to impose their will on the region. The city of Timbuktu, a major center of trade and learning, was one of the first targets of Sunni Ali's campaigns. In 1468, he launched a successful assault on the city, incorporating it into the Songhai Empire and gaining access to the lucrative Trans-Saharan trade routes that connected West Africa to the Mediterranean. As the Songhai Empire expanded, its leaders began to adopt many of the administrative and cultural practices of their predecessors, the Mali Empire. They established a complex system of government with a powerful ruler at its apex, advised by a council of nobles and scholars. The Songhai also developed a rich cultural heritage, blending Islamic traditions with indigenous customs and beliefs. Their artisans created exquisite works of art, from intricate wood carvings to beautifully crafted textiles, which were highly prized throughout the region. As the Songhai Empire's cultural heritage continued to flourish, its leaders began to invest heavily in the development of Timbuktu, transforming it into a major center of Islamic learning and culture. The city's famous Djinguereber Mosque, built during the reign of Sunni Ali's successor, Askia Muhammad I, became a beacon of intellectual inquiry, attracting scholars and theologians from across the Islamic world. The mosque's imposing structure, with its intricately carved wooden doors and soaring mud brick arches, stood as a testament to the Songhai Empire's wealth and architectural prowess. Under Askia Muhammad I, who ruled from 1493 to 1528, the Songhai Empire reached the zenith of its power, with its territories stretching from the Senegal River in the west to the Niger River in the east. A devout Muslim, Askia Muhammad I implemented a series of reforms aimed at strengthening Islamic institutions and promoting trade and commerce throughout the empire. He established a powerful navy on the Niger River, which enabled the Songhai to control the lucrative trade in gold, salt, and other valuable commodities. One of the most significant achievements of Askia Muhammad I's reign was the development of a sophisticated system of administration, which allowed the Songhai Empire to maintain its vast territories and ensure the collection of taxes and tributes from its subject states. The empire was divided into provinces, each governed by a powerful official known as a Khoi, who was responsible for maintaining law and order, collecting taxes, and upholding the authority of the central government. The Songhai Empire's administrative system was also characterized by a complex network of trade routes and commercial centers, which facilitated the exchange of goods and ideas across the Sahara Desert. The city of Jen, situated on the Niger River, emerged as a major hub of trade and commerce, with merchants from across West Africa coming to buy and sell goods such as gold, ivory, and textiles. The city's famous marketplace, where traders would gather to haggle over prices and exchange stories of their travels, became a symbol of the Songhai Empire's prosperity and cultural diversity. As the Songhai Empire continued to expand its territories, its leaders began to confront the challenges posed by neighboring kingdoms and empires. One of the most significant threats to the empire's security came from the Hausa city-states, which had long been a thorn in the side of the Songhai. In 1517, Askia Muhammad I launched a successful campaign against the Hausa city-state of Kano, incorporating it into the Songhai Empire and gaining control over the lucrative trade routes that connected West Africa to the Mediterranean. As the Songhai Empire continued to expand its territories, the reign of Askia Muhammad I was marked by a series of military campaigns aimed at consolidating the empire's power and securing its borders. One of the most significant challenges faced by the empire during this period was the threat posed by the Mossi kingdoms, a powerful and highly organized confederation of states located to the south of the Songhai Empire. In 1520, Askia Muhammad I launched a major campaign against the Mossi kingdom of Tankodogo, which had long been a thorn in the side of the Songhai. The campaign was ultimately unsuccessful, however, and the Mossi kingdoms continued to pose a significant threat to the empire's security. Despite this setback, the Songhai Empire continued to flourish under the leadership of Askia Muhammad I, who implemented a series of reforms aimed at strengthening the empire's administrative and economic systems. One of the most significant innovations introduced during this period was the use of a standardized system of weights and measures, which facilitated trade and commerce throughout the empire. The empire's merchants also began to use a new form of currency, known as the mitkal, which was widely accepted throughout West Africa. The city of Timbuktu continued to thrive as a major center of Islamic learning and culture, attracting scholars and theologians from across the Islamic world. The city's famous Sankora University, which had been founded during the reign of Sunni Ali, became a hub of intellectual inquiry, with scholars such as Ahmed Baba and Abdul Rahman al-Sadi making significant contributions to the fields of theology, law, and literature. The university's library, which contained thousands of manuscripts on subjects ranging from astronomy to zoology, was particularly renowned, and scholars would travel from all over the Islamic world to consult its vast collections. As the Songhai Empire reached the height of its power, its leaders began to establish diplomatic relations with other states and empires in the region. In 1526, Askia Muhammad I sent a diplomatic mission to the Ottoman Empire, which was then the dominant power in the Middle East. The mission was led by a prominent scholar and diplomat named Abdul Rahman al-Sadi, who carried a letter from Askia Muhammad I to the Ottoman Sultan, Suleiman the Magnificent. The letter requested the establishment of formal diplomatic relations between the two empires and proposed a series of trade agreements that would facilitate the exchange of goods and ideas between West Africa and the Middle East. The response from the Ottoman Empire was positive, and over the next several years, the Songhai Empire and the Ottomans established a series of trade and diplomatic agreements that would have far-reaching consequences for both empires. The Ottomans began to supply the Songhai with advanced military technology, including firearms and artillery, which helped to strengthen the empire's military and secure its borders. In return, the Songhai provided the Ottomans with access to the lucrative gold and salt trades of West Africa, which helped to fuel the Ottoman Empire's rapid expansion during this period. As the Songhai Empire continued to strengthen its ties with the Ottoman Empire, it also faced increasing pressure from other neighboring states. In 1590, the Moroccan Empire, under the leadership of Sultan Ahmad al-Mansur, began to pose a significant threat to the Songhai's western borders. The Moroccans had long been interested in gaining control over the lucrative Trans-Saharan trade routes, and they saw the Songhai Empire as a major obstacle to achieving this goal. In 1591, the Moroccans launched a surprise attack on the Songhai Empire, led by the renowned military commander Judar Pasha. The Songhai army, which had grown complacent under the leadership of Askia Muhammad I's successors, was caught off guard and suffered a series of devastating defeats. The Moroccans quickly overran the empire's western provinces, capturing key cities such as Timbuktu and Gao. The Songhai Empire's capital, Gao, fell to the Moroccans in 1591, marking the beginning of the end of the empire's independence. The last Askia king, Askia Ishak II, was forced to flee, and the Moroccans installed the puppet ruler in his place. The once mighty Songhai Empire was now reduced to a mere vassal state, subject to the whims of the Moroccan sultan. The consequences of the Moroccan conquest were far-reaching. The Trans-Saharan trade routes, which had long been a source of wealth and power for the Songhai Empire, were now controlled by the Moroccans. The city of Timbuktu, once a thriving center of Islamic learning and culture, began to decline, as many of its scholars and intellectuals fled or were forced into exile. As the years passed, the Songhai Empire continued to weaken, its territories gradually being absorbed into the Moroccan Empire. In 1600, the Moroccans launched a final campaign against the remnants of the Songhai state, capturing the last stronghold of the Askia dynasty and bringing an end to the empire's independence once and for all. The legacy of the Songhai Empire lived on, however, in the many cities and towns that had been founded during its heyday. The city of Timbuktu, although greatly diminished, continued to be an important center of Islamic learning and culture, attracting scholars and intellectuals from across the Islamic world. The empire's rich cultural heritage, including its music, art, and literature, also endured, influencing the development of West African culture for centuries to come. In the aftermath of the Moroccan conquest, many of the Songhai Empire's former subjects were forced to adapt to new rulers and new systems of government. Some, such as the influential scholar and diplomat Abdul Rahman al-Sadi, continued to play important roles in the region, serving as advisors and administrators under the Moroccans. Others, however, were forced into exile, fleeing to other parts of West Africa or beyond in search of safety and security. As the 17th century dawned, the region that had once been the Songhai Empire was a vastly different place. The old empire's territories were now divided among various Moroccan provinces, each governed by a powerful pasha or governor. The city of Timbuktu, although still an important center of trade and learning, was no longer the thriving metropolis it had once been. The era of the great West African empires, which had begun with the rise of Ghana and Mali centuries earlier, was now coming to a close, as the region entered a new period of history marked by colonialism, instability, and transformation. Yet, the legacy of this mighty empire endures, a testament to the ingenuity, resilience, and determination of its people. The Songhai Empire's impact on West African history is indelible, shaping the course of trade, culture, and politics for centuries to come. The Songhai Empire may be gone, but its story remains, a powerful reminder of the enduring spirit of humanity. Thank you for joining me throughout this historical journey. That's all for today's History with Herodotus. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, remember that, to understand the present, we must first understand the past.